हेलो बच्चों, टुडे आई एम टॉकिंग क्वेश्चन नंबर 1.5. Question number 1.5 taken from I.E.IRODOV. Two particles 1 and 2 moves with constant velocities v1 and v2. Two particles having velocity v1 and v2. Suppose that particle number 1 having the velocity v1 and particle 2 having velocity v2. At the initial moment, their radius vectors are to r1 and r2. Radius vector at t equal to 0, radius vector of particle first is r1 and particle second is r2. How much these four vectors we interrelated for the particles to collide? This is very important question. Here four vectors are given. First vectors v1 and position r1 for first particle and v2 and r2 for second particle. Clear? This is the vector. This is the four vectors. We have to calculate relation between these vectors. Okay. According to question, r1 vector and r2 vector is position of particle at t equal to 0. That is initially t equal to 0. That's initially. Okay. Now, okay. Particle first. This is the particle first. R1 vector. This is the particle second. R2 vector. After particles collide, suppose that this is the point where particles collide. v1 velocity or t, this is the position in t time. First particle having position v1 vector t in time t. Again, second particle having position v2 vector into t. In t time, both particles collide at point A. Clear? This is the R3 vector. Consider R3 vector. Okay. At time t, both particles collide at A. A is the point where both particles collide. Clear? Okay. Now from figure, this vector plus this vector equal to this vector. And again, this vector plus this vector equal to this vector. So, r1 vector plus v1 vector t equal to R2 vector plus V2 vector T equal to R3 vector. Now, R1 vector plus V1 vector T equal to R2 vector plus V2 vector T. R1 vector minus R2 vector is equal to V2 vector minus V1 vector into T. T equal to R1 vector minus R2 vector divided by V2 vector minus V1 vector. As we know that division of vector is not possible, so I took modulus of R1 minus R2 vector divided by modulus of V2 minus V1 vector. The T is the scalar quantity, so I have taken modulus. Clear? Putting the values, this is the equation number first, this is the equation number second. Now, putting the values of T in equation first. Clear? Putting the values from first and second. R1 vector minus R2 vector equal to V2 vector minus V1 vector into T. R1 vector minus R2 vector mod divided by V2 vector minus V1 vector mod. Now, R1 vector minus R2 vector, this vector, modulus of vector comes here. R1 vector minus R2 vector modulus equal to V2 vector minus V1 vector divided by V2 vector minus V1 vector. This is the correct relation. Clear? We have a study in unit vector. Vector divided by modulus. Vector divided by modulus. So this is the relation between four vectors. R1, R2 and V1, V2. R1, R2 and V1, V2. Most important relation. This question asked many exams. Okay?